Here we have a problem on quadratic equation. Okay, let's go to the question. The distributor of apple juice has 5,000 bottles in the store that it wishes to distribute in a month. From experience, it is known that demand D, number of bottles, and P, price per bottle in dollars, is given by D equals to negative 2,000 P square, positive 2,000 P, positive 17,000. Find the price per bottle that will result in zero inventory. First, let's understand what is inventory. Inventory refers to amount of goods in stock. In this case, 5,000 bottles, because the distributor has 5,000 bottles in the store. So this is the inventory, and we have to find the price per bottle. That is P. We have to find the value of P. That will result zero inventory. So zero inventory means all the 5,000 bottles have to be sold. If all the 5,000 bottles are sold, then the inventory becomes zero. If I want all the 5,000 bottles to be sold, then the demand for the apple juice bottles must be 5,000, so that I'll be able to sell all the 5,000 bottles. The inventory will become zero. That means demand means the value of this D has to be 5,000. So if there is a demand of 5,000 bottles, we can sell all the bottles and we can make the inventory zero. In that scenario, we can find the value of P, that is the price per bottle. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to plug in this 5,000 for the demand D over here and solve for P in the equation. Okay, let me plug in this 5,000 for D over here. Let me do it. Then I'm getting 5,000 equals to negative 2,000 P square, positive 2,000 P, positive 17,000. Okay, here we have a quadratic equation. To solve for P in this quadratic equation, we have to get this quadratic equation standard form. That is, we must have everything on one side of the equation, and the other side we must have zero. Okay, let's try to get rid of this 5,000 so that we'll have zero on the left side. For that, we have to subtract 5,000 from both sides. Let me do it. Okay, when I subtract 5,000 from both sides, is positive 5,000, negative 5,000 will cancel out. I am getting zero on the left side. So on the right side, we have negative 2,000 P square, positive 2,000 P, and when I combine positive 17,000, negative 5,000, I am getting positive 12,000. Okay, here we got a quadratic equation, but the first term P square is negative. Usually keep the first term as positive. So for that, what we can do is, and also one more thing we can notice, the coefficient of P square, the coefficient of P, and constant term, everything is a multiple of 2,000. So better we can divide all the terms of this quadratic equation by negative 2,000. Let me do it. Let me divide the zero on the left side by negative 2,000, and this one by negative 2,000, this one by negative 2,000, and this one by negative 2,000. So 0 divided by anything is 0. So here this negative and negative will become positive, and 2,000 will cancel out. We just get P square over here. And here when we combine this, when I divide positive sign by negative sign, I am getting a negative. This 2,000 will cancel. We just get P. When we divide positive sign by negative sign, I am getting a negative. When I divide 12,000 by 2,000, I am getting 6. Okay, now I got a quadratic equation over here. Now we have to solve for P in this quadratic equation. We can try to solve this quadratic equation by factoring. For that, we have to multiply this constant term negative 6 by the coefficient of P square. In this case, it's 1. When I multiply this negative 6 by this coefficient of P square 1, I am still getting negative 6. Now we have to get two factors over here, so that the product of two factors equals to negative 6, and the sum of the two factors equals to the coefficient of P. In this case, it's negative 1. I think negative 3 and positive 2 will work. When I multiply negative 3 and positive 2, I am getting negative 6. When I add negative 3 and positive 2, I am getting negative 1, which is the coefficient of P. Further, we have to divide both these factors by the coefficient of P square, that is 1. Let me do it. Even if I divide these two factors by 1, I'm still getting negative 3 and positive 2. Usually when we solve a quadratic equation, we'll be getting two values for the variable. In this case, it's P. So to get the first value of P, I have to change the sign of the first factor over here. It's negative. When I change the sign, I'm getting positive 3. Now to get the second value of P, I have to change the sign of the second factor. It's already positive. If I change the sign, it will be negative. Actually, P represents the price per bottle in dollars. So the price can now be a negative value. So we can reject the negative value of P. So we can consider the positive value of P, that is 3. So therefore, the price per bottle that will result zero inventory is $3.